Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining us on this broadcast. I think my fifth dimension. And I think my. Of course, I could have did this earlier. For some reason, my video is. I thought it would fix itself, but I guess not. Oh, no wonder it's not on focus. Alright, that should be working now. I think it's working. Alright, thank you for joining us. I guess the other one was out of focus, but that's alright. Alright, just posted the mentorship. And it's kind of growing pains trying to figure out how to go about it. Basically, if you want to email me or go through Facebook or whatever it might be that works for you. And we'll just go baby steps into all of this. So we're going to open up to more what would work for you, and I'll go into more details over time and of the structure of it. So right now, just message me and we'll just we'll go back and forth, whatever method you'd like to use for communication, and we'll just start slow and see where we can go. So for this is it's Superman, the Atlantean Superman, super people. I mentioned this here in their Neutron. You probably have heard it also too, the Superman through different energies. You know, you can look up conspiracy stuff. You'll find Superman somewhere of Atlantean super people. And we are kind of like to go into a little bit of that, of one perspective, let's put it that way, because we are slowly going back into that direction. Not to say we're going to get to that heights anytime soon, but we are going to get a more understanding of it. So even when you look at that type of stuff if you look at a movie, you feel the energies of it, and it's quite, you feel the vibration from it. So, yeah, what is it now? Either way. I think we're out. Okay. Yeah, so Superman, no, he's, he looks kind of ridiculous, technically. He has his underwear and all that. But, that was the whole point, was for him to not come off too powerful, to look ridiculous. He's got the underwear. He looks kind of like it's for kids, and that was the point. If it got to I'm not sure what clothing he would be wearing, but something that's very serious, it might spook some people out, because some people here, if they wore some kind of Atlantean clothing of some kind or something around those lines, that'd probably freak people out. Not to say he's not already causing aggravation to people as it is. So he looks goofy for a reason. So that's another way to introduce those ideas. And Superman, the first issue of Superman started the superhero genre. If it wasn't for Superman, we wouldn't have all these comic book movies out right now. So this one character kicked it off. So, let's see, 1938. So yeah, so that's a big deal there. So it's you see all these super people in comics. You might think it's fairy tales, of course, right now, but once again, the energies are being reintroduced into our vibration of where we're heading. Soon, people will even like Green Lantern, activate a ring and use that for power. People are going to use their abilities in what way it works for them. Not every superhero operates the same way, and it has the same to do with us. So there is there's some stuff there. Now the original Superman that was this one, the Reign of Superman, is actually a villain. But I mentioned this here and there, but the story is the creator had these visions of a superpowered person. I don't know why they made him a villain, but I don't think that the visions were a villain, but it was just one of the creators. I forgot who it was, but it was one guy came up with the idea and the other guy drew it, and I forget who it was, but either way. So they were, but yeah, it wasn't a villain, but I guess they made him into a villain for some bizarre reason. I don't know the whole story, but either way, Superman became a good guy, and it took a while for it to catch on, you know, for them to sell the idea, and it changed the, you know, pop culture forever. Now the villain, now in our current time, the villain Superman is here. So like the negative Atlantean, the dark Atlantean is showing himself. They don't have the nice friendly one, they have the bad one. You know, the current movies are showing the villains. So, and now the movies haven't done that well because we don't need that information right now, but we got enough. Down the road, we'll get more, probably more of a positive one when we need it. So right now, you know, the consciousness is kind of kicking him out right now. It's like, okay, I'm making all these crappy movies. I'm not really relevant right now, but I want to show my vibrations. So, you know, over time, you know, this is a lot of power. And we're not really, I know it sounds funny, but we're not really ready for it. So that's another reason why it's not popular on TV. I know it sounds strange, but of course they have Supergirl and all that, but, you know, the male was probably most likely the big pain in the ass in the past. So just to give you a different perspective at least of, you know, pop culture is speaking to us. Now the current pop culture is, yeah, this version, and maybe kind of like a one-note character, but back in the past that was probably not too far off, because the villains are the ones that kind of got us in this situation that we're in today. Even the story in the movies is like, what if Superman goes rogue? Even the whole movie was about him going bad. And think about, you know, that's what kind of the super people, the bad ones, got us into the world we are in today. But it's all in perspective. Not everyone's going to digest that. But if you look at Atlantean energies connected to that vibration, you feel like there's super people back then. Some of them did abuse it. They took it to a whole new level. So maybe this isn't all, you know, right now it's seen as fiction. Huh. Maybe it's best to keep it fiction for right now. So obviously, but when we power up, we'll look at this stuff a lot more differently, because people will be connecting more to these energies, these lifetimes, and just like, wow, this stuff was really real and very intense. So like yesterday I was having a little bit, they weren't really showing me everything, but then I had the idea to connect with this last night after I went off the air, so it's kind of interesting. Also, the dark crystal came through, and I know it's a movie, so it just connects to the movie energies. So when the world got nuts, when it went into a new realm, Atlantis got split open to, I wouldn't say a negative realm, but it went to somewhere different. It wasn't all bad. So it connected to some strangers. Now this is a puppet movie, but, you know, this is all channeled information. So just kind of give us an idea that, you know, we opened up into a new, you know, when I put that title in, I was, you know, energy-wise, said Dark Crystal. Talk about the Dark Crystal, which I don't know anything about the Dark Crystal, but you say, like, crystals of Atlantis were used for villainous ways, and are today against humanity currently. So you think that was just at one time in the past. It's still going on today. So it's done differently. It's done through the Druids, done through, you can say even the Catholic Church, or any religion for that matter, but mostly Catholic Church. So, you know, it's basically to hypnotize humanity, and, you know, this is like a puppet movie, but, you know, these beings aren't, it's like I said, it's not all bad. They have a little bit of everybody there, so it just other realms opened up, other realities came in and became, you know, this world became quite diverse than what it was in the past. So we just welcomed in new energies. Let's look at it that way. So we'll kind of go into that a little bit more. So for this is avatar.com, I'll just leave it at that. So if you need to know anything about me, go somewhere. Let's give that a break for a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to turn this thing off. That's fine. Okay. Okay, hang guess I don't know what's going on with my camera. Yeah, it keeps, yeah, the focus keeps turning off. That's nice. Yeah, I made that mentoring video. It was all out of focus. Because I was using Zoom and that was out of focus, and I used this, it was out of focus. Everywhere I go, it's out of focus. So, oh well. So it doesn't matter. Alright, let's see here. For the Superman, the higher vibrational energies we're obviously we are going into a time of soul renewal, and a time of where magic will become more known, vibrationally, not necessarily. You'd be surprised. Anything's possible right now. It's like, we probably just, the connections of spirit are going to start shifting throughout this year. Become a little bit stronger for certain individuals, not everybody. Most of the collective here, it's like to assist the human collect, those that don't believe in any of this. Assist them in their breaking out. It's like the more people are allowing this to come in, even if it's a small number, now you're maturing with those vibrations, and the human collective will eventually feel it. As they say, wow, that's a strange anomaly. That's very bizarre. It's like, yeah, because we're bringing in new vibrations in, and you'd be able to connect to that. So I'm not sure what exactly is coming in quite yet, but basically energies are going to start on heightening up for an energy shift. Third dimension is obviously still going to be here, but a lot of low vibrations are going to continue to heal little by little, and you're going to feel just, I guess technically this is the event, but not labels probably aren't the best thing, but because this whole new earth thing, you're just on a new earth in 5 minutes. No, it's not going to be anything like that. It's a gradual shift of basically you opening up your connections, those that are wanted to open their connections up in due time. Basically, not everybody's here to awaken fully. Of course, fully is connecting more. That was it. Now I remember what it was. There was something else I was going to bring up here. I cannot freaking remember what it was. I don't remember. That's really the lead into all of this. Of course, not in the title. Man, talk about blockage. Yeah, connecting to your astral self. Recently, I've felt more of my astral self come through than I've had in the past. It's like an energy field around you. And just feel like it's, you can read energies a little bit easier than you have in the past. It's not always activated. It's here and there. It can get a little bit overwhelming, but I felt like an astral energy just increased recently. I believe it was mostly today when it occurred. Probably happened yesterday. I can't remember the details, but I just feel more astral energies are coming through. So us connecting more to the astral world. I probably should write that down because I'll forget. Yeah, let me get back. Let me write that down. Jeez, I can't remember shit. Astral self. Yeah, because I'm connecting to all this I can't remember every detail. Especially at work is, that's fun. I have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. Something just flew by. I don't think that was a bug. So, so basically connecting more to your astral self, it's basically feel like an energy field is around you. Some people are already experiencing this, so it's nothing new to them. But it's breaking free of the third dimension. Doesn't mean you're going to have a full understanding of everything, but it'll give you let's see what they allow me to connect with. Basically, there's a reptilian grid around the earth, basically, to get people to think like they're thinking. Like, the reptilian grid is like, this is the thoughts you want humans to have. Here's a list. Obviously, the list is very long, but either way, like a vocabulary, a thinking pattern. We want humans to think this way. That's coming through the reptilian grid. People think not everybody thinks the same, but subject matters aren't that much different. What's your favorite food and movie, game? We're kind of staying the limits of reality, basically. If you're talking about spirit guides and ghosts and all that, you're in this group. So, even Gaia TV has a big audience, but it's still pretty small. It's not worldwide, but you never know. So the reptilian, now obviously that comes through the archon grid. Now the archon grid can be very intense, where they can put us into a. This is nice. So the archon grid can basically really put us into a prison system where, kind of like the Dark Ages, or worse. God, those are the good ages compared to other worlds. Ouch. But yeah, there's what they're showing is there's levels of it where they can really clamp down on a planet. And yeah, you might be learning a lot and your life would be a living hell, basically. So that level has been lifted by Palladians, Syrians, positive Atlantean beings. That has been. Now it's what they're showing is, which makes a lot of sense, is the archon grid, and not all archons are bad, but it can be kind of here to shut us down, coming down on us, and the beings are here to lift it out. But then it comes back onto us to bring down more low vibrations. It's kind of like a fluctuating energy field that's going on right now. And once again, spirit still runs the show. I know we all like when it kicked their ass, but it's all part of a lesson. See, they have to step back for us to learn, but they can interfere. A lot of times they can for various reasons. That's between you and them. It's but spirit still has. When we talk about the most powerful being, it is the spirit realms. I have a different way of looking at astral. You can say the spirit world is astral, but I look at, let's put it this way, higher astral, what I call the spirit world, where you don't have all this drama and all this nonsense. Yeah, it has some of it here and there, but nothing like it does. Astral out of this world does have some drama. It's more high vibrational, but it's more connected to this earth, so you can you have little things, but you go to the higher levels and then you have to do all this BS that we're dealing with here. So it's however you want to look at it. So technically, I wouldn't call it heaven, but it's, I don't know, a higher vibration. However you want to look at it. I don't know if there's a terminology, at least not in our vocabulary. Not that it matters. But so connecting to the higher astral self is another way of it's open up your intuitive abilities. It comes and goes as it need. More people will connect to it over time. Basically, it's basically we are connecting to it. We are following more of our path to enlightenment. And yes, it's not going to be easy because you want to take the swords down. You don't want to fight anybody. You want more healing energies, and that's good. You need healers everywhere, any type. People feel like they're not a very good healer, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. You're putting out you're putting out positive vibrations. That's saying that's better than what the other guys are doing. So humans here, obviously, even those, not everybody to an extent, but some are used, yes, as a weapon, but you're also weaponized by other beings. There's another term they mentioned, but they pulled it back. But it's just basically you're used as a funnel. We're here to send out energies, each of us, for good or for worse. You see how the human collective is. Oh, you went to see that movie, send out a vibration. Oh, I think I better go see that movie. Or, even when you don't even say it, you're sending out that energy out. So it's it's for good or bad. So we're kind of like, I don't call it battery. I don't know what word there is for it, but you're sending out vibrations constantly, like a sun. We're kind of like a sun energy. We get manipulated for positive or for negative, whatever it might be. That's probably the best way. Yeah, we are light beings, so you can take a sun and make it dark, or make it light, whatever it might be. So obviously that's, obvious, but they're gonna always give me. So we're sponges too. We pull in vibrations that we don't. So as you open up yourself, you're less likely to be a sponge of other people's energy fields. In theory, not always. So here the idea is to shut down. Well, not shut it down, but gradually bring in new vibrations. Basically, every soul here is connected to different realms, different universes, different. And you're bringing it now. Sometimes you feel like you're shut down here. I'm lost. I'm not able to project my universe, my reality, as many people feel like. Because I don't feel like I'm part of this planet. It's like I can't really be myself here, and that's probably like 90% of people on the planet. Some people just conform, but just make the best of it. But they're not really being their true self. I guess there's many are being their true self, and ouch, that's not safe. Consumerism, whatever it might be. Well, that's also for their direction here, and sometimes it's easier to be part of the collective. Obviously, so if you're part of the main collective human, I mean, it is easier. Well, it's not easy, but it's you can more relate to everyone. But you connect all the spiritual stuff, you look like a crazy person. It's like, you talk to like a movie poster, you talk to the being on the movie, the person, you're like, oh, that's connected to like Starman or something. You connected to that energy, connected to that universe, that reality. That's where we're headed. We're basically making the lunatic asylum part of society again. That's pretty much it. Because everybody has a different way of looking at the universe, looking at realities, and you take your bizarreness and add it to that person's bizarreness, and without somebody shutting you down. So you notice that we're all toward the version of normal here, to be a good consumer, go to church, do what you're told. That's shutting us off from who we are, which is a nightmare. And we're basically just turning a light switch back on. That's the thing about some channelers or psychics that say, oh, that's not right, this is right. Sometimes that's correct, but a lot of times it's not. It's like, don't think for yourself, think what we want you to think. That's the thing. Sometimes like, you get clarity here and there, but some beings are here to put their ideas into your mind. And it's a tricky business, but the idea is to be more free. Have a free mind, connect to other realities. The movies are showing us stuff. Obviously, it goes 10 times more into that. The Max worlds exist. That just came to mind. People are very related to that. So, the human collective still has power here, of course. It's still the main the answer for it, but it's gradual. It's like we're not ready for that. You're here to bring the aliens, but majority is like, yeah, that's great and everything, but can we compromise? It's like we're not ready for an alien, so, but can you give us something else? Something like so. With the Superman, yes, the power of your past is very dark. A dark nightmare, basically. Nightmare on your planet that you would not believe, basically. We are slowly bringing this knowledge into your world, basically many alien ships. Imagine your skies just with alien ships everywhere. When Atlantis lost its power, all these other beings came in. It's like some were positive, a lot of them weren't, and they did whatever they felt like here. They gave away their free will, or they shut themselves down. Their guard is down now. The humans are just giving away their free will to us, to whoever, and they're kind of redesigning the planet, terraforming it also to a certain degree. They weren't allowed to mess with Egypt. Egypt was one of them. I think there's another one. They're not telling me what it was, but Egypt was a sacred site that they weren't allowed to tamper with too much. That was technically the cradle of humanity, but they kind of moved to Samaria for certain reasons, because there's a lot of stuff in Egypt they don't want you to know about. It's like, yeah, go to Samaria, yeah, go to Babylon. Don't look it over here. So Egypt still has a lot of stuff that has not been uncovered for various reasons. Yeah, Sahara Desert is one place. Africa in general, but Egypt is still a center point. There's a lot of alien technologies there that are hidden in different dimensions, but there's still artifacts there they have not found, apparently. They're deep underground. They're obviously not going to tell us about it. Yeah, there's just. I'm surprised they allow. I mean, for Egypt. I mean, obviously Egypt is not a safe place to go to. Well, yeah, it is and it isn't. It's a little bit of this and that. It's a lot safer in Baghdad. So, you say Baghdad. Yeah, Baghdad's a lot worse. Baghdad has. It's mostly. Let's see here. Yeah, Egypt for the most part. Well, they make it friendly, but there's still. I mean, they make it public, but there's still a lot of stuff like Luxor. Is a place where there's a lot going on that they're obviously not going to. So, yeah. So Egypt, well, Luxor is technically connected to Egypt. So Luxor is another place. There's probably another. Luxor has a lot of strong energies that are not going into detail. So, yeah, remote viewing energies. I'm not sure if they're going to. Some of those, yeah, obviously some of those energies are in the Notre Dame. They're just showing the vibration is there through just the minerals, Egyptian minerals, whatever it might be. Because it's pulling energies from the universe. Because it is a portal for various reasons, for various portals, but obviously it's not the friendliest. But yeah, it's pulling energies from other universes. It's also very connected to giants. Giants, not that it's going to happen anytime soon. You think people can't handle an alien, let alone a giant? It's like, so we're kind of going to information disclosure. Once again, some of this information out there is so fucking insane. People are not going to be able to digest it. I don't care who you are. I mean, it's capable of being. They're slowly bringing it in, but it has not been full. It's like what they're showing is, yeah, it's like it'll all make sense, but they have not fully dropped it yet. Obviously, there's more layers to it, but there is a big one that they're going to bring out, but who knows when that's going to be. They're not in a rush for obvious reasons. It's like, I talked about the Atlanteans, how a lot of villainous ones go into other worlds and causing difficulties. And yeah, I connected that with the Orions in the past. I got a little bit more detail of it. They're still out there. They actually went to Venus and caused difficulties there also. Because the Venus beings were kind of diverse. There's a lot of positive, a lot of not so positive. But you can say the Atlanteans kind of brought in more positive because they took them to a dark spot. They weren't really, that dark place, they weren't really willing to go into. So Venus has a lot of energies around Egypt, but France. I always want to say the ancient Greeks. Yeah, ancient Greece is probably it was a lot of hidden energies. Even say their temples. The architecture of Greece is from Venus. Obviously, it's from different places too, but Venus seems to be a strong place for that, which makes a lot of sense actually. So, yeah, because there's a lot of healing energies around those types of structures, basically, and they white like. Greece had a lot of energy. What do you call it? Not just a lot of positive energy vortexes there. I'm not sure if they're still there. I imagine they're still there now, most likely. But there is a lot of a lot of healing energies there still in some areas. Of course, it's not exactly the safest place to go to anymore. I wonder why. No surprise there. So. Yeah, I have to look that up. Let me make a note. I'll forget. Let's see, Greece. There we go. So, so Atlanteans put a lot of places around the Earth for us to unravel the mystery. Greece is one. you say religion's another one. So, kind of like a treasure map. Yeah, they figure out. I feel like I'm figuring this one out. Yeah, because the positive Atlanteans put in like information around the world. I'm not sure how the hell you're gonna figure that one out. For us to unlock the past through ancient sites, basically. It's all in the History Channel. Some places have not been fully discovered, but you got an idea. It's like they're finding like pyramids that have been buried. You know, they're getting. Is there another big one out there? Probably, but I guess a lot of it's underwater, but not all of it. So they did put a lot of information out there. So as the consciousness shifts, more of this stuff will be discovered. Now I'm not sure about Egypt. You never know. Now, like I say, anything in Egypt is going to make it public. It's hard to say. So let's see with astral. So yeah, connecting to more to your astral self. How that worked with me, I just sort of felt it more. Now I felt it here and there, but there's a time and place for everything. Let's see. The reptilians are basically they were contracted to watch over the earth, for better or for worse. So the bad, not so friendly ones and the friendly ones kind of work together. Meaning that they're talking to each other. Let's put it that way. Like our governments, even if we don't like Russia, we talk to them. You know, like we don't like China, we talk to them. It's that type of thing. It doesn't mean they all sleep in the same bed or anything like that. But they're all still, you know, they have peace with each other. Of course, that's not always the case. So, like, you might have peace with them, but not everybody's agreeing on it. So then it's like this person over here is really pissed off about the positive one, so go kick their ass. So, you know, it doesn't mean the collective wants to kick their ass. It just always takes a few to do it. So it's that type of thing. So the reptilians, I mean, yes, the felines want to keep. The felines are part of our governments. They obviously don't want to make it known. Entertainment. They're the hidden hand. They keep the hidden hand hidden. So they say hidden. The hidden hand says hidden. Relationship situations, you can blame a lot of that on them, because you know, a lot, you know, their relationships aren't the greatest either. So we picked up on a lot of their energies. So they use relationships against us. They weaponize that instead of making kind of a hostile environment. Sometimes you can say the reptilians involved it, but I believe the felines have a bigger energy there. Obviously, they're not going to be raising their hand on that one, but they do play into politics. They hate politics. A lot of Syrians involved with politics, but the lions keep things simple, but they are, because they're definitely part of the politics. But they keep things simple, but other beings make it more complicated. You know, you look at government; it's complicated as hell. You know, you look at like they have all these bills and all of that. You can't understand shit. The felines will never do that. The Syrians will do that. So the Syrians came in and made everything all like, fuck, even like your banking statement or something, you know, like banking in general. It's like the financial, how financial world works. That's all complicated. Nobody understands the damn thing. I'm not sure if that's fully the Syrians. A lot of that's archon. Because the money system obviously brings in vortexes, brings in manipulations. Just those federal bank, not banks in general. Well, I imagine they do, but the federal banks, the Federal Reserve, stuff like that, central banks, those are like little versions of Notre Dame. They bring in energies. So look at your federal, because some of them do have an eagle on them. So they're built kind of like fortresses, and it's like, oh, that's creepy. They're built like churches in some regard, but they're not friendly. So they kind of have the same vibration, but a different agenda. So, like if you take out all, well, I want to say, if you remove all the churches, remove all the federal banks, you probably feel a different energy here. It's like you're removing, you're finding the Wizard of Oz, basically. You're removing the hidden hand. So, not to say we're going to go and wipe everything out, but, it's just like, that's, the federal banks, the central banks, because we have the Federal Reserve in New York, I believe that's a big one. That's archon vortexes, like a son of a bitch. Just like holy shit, just that's worse than Notre Dame. It's like Notre Dame's a tough one. The federal banks, the worst. I've never really connected that. Not like that. I mean, I knew about it, knew the whole. I mean, I don't know the whole story, but I got enough idea of it. But yeah, central bank, the big powerful central banks. Like your regular banks have some stuff, but nothing like the central ones, because the central ones are truly running it. Stock market to a degree, but the central bank is obviously it's a portal. Of course, I went to Chicago and Connecticut. I really got hit by that, man. One in New York will probably blow me on the ground. The one in Chicago, because we don't have anything like that here. In Chicago, because that's kind of like a main financial area, it's one of them. It was like, do not come here. The energy was not friendly. It's like, you can go there, but most of the time you don't want you there. You just don't want me there. Let's put it that way. So I'm connected to that, but this I'm looking at from a different point of view of the federal banks all around the world, the central bank energies, obviously carrying energies. There's a lot more, but yeah, that's where you connect to your archon base. So how to release that, heal that. I would remote view it, connect to you, like meditate with it. Not to say you want to get absorbed by the darkness, but connect to its energies. Basically, it's there is an okay. When I connect to a central bank, I see an eagle inside of it. So it's like it's an archon structure with an eagle running the show in secret, of course. And the Syrians there, which I didn't realize when the Syrians are just making everything complicated. Kind of like making it normal, but also making it not normal. It's like, we're trying to hide ourselves. So the more complicated we make it. Like these bills, like, Congress tries to book out like 1,000-page bill and all that. It's, once again, it's all Syrian energies connected to that. It just kind of, like the terms of service on Facebook, stuff like that, that's all Syrian. Yeah. So, shit. The more complicated you make the world, the more we get lost. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Makes sense. I mean, reality doesn't make any sense, right? So, but we are here to break through that. So, like with the central bank, you can send your energy, send out a star, positive, send out love. You might feel reptilian feedback. Yeah, because it connects to another reality. It connects to another world. People obviously don't realize that. We'll go there and get mind controlled. But if you're already part of the system, they feel it. But they feel it's normal. Oh, I'm going to get rich here. I'm going to get this here. So they feel something's weird, but they don't think anything of it. So yeah, that's the mind control. The main base of mind control is the central banks, obviously. It's nothing new. It's just something I don't normally connect to. So I mean, connected to Iraq and all of the strangeness, and now it's part of Greece. But the central bank basically is where the archon vortexes are. So healing that. We'll see. Let's see where we can go with that tomorrow. So let's see. Because energy-wise, you connect to a central bank. Federal Reserve, central bank, wherever, or even everyone has a central bank somewhere, unfortunately. You can get those vibrations, like, what do you see energy of? I keep seeing the carrions and archons, but I see like a spider. The central bank is a spider energy. But it's an archon spider. It's not, I'm not saying bashing insectoids, but it's like an archon spider. They take different forms. And it's like the web, the spider's web makes sense. Yep, makes sense. And layers of webs around our humanity makes perfect sense. Yeah, so like if you go, like you say, you go to a central bank in person, you might see it as something else, because that's where the control is coming from the most part. a big part of it at least. So obviously, there's nothing too new, but it's not something I connect to very often. So it's just give me a different take on it. So wasn't expecting to go there, that's for sure. So yeah, it's kind of a different connection today. Yeah, I expect weirdness. So that's it right now. So we're making progress, that's for sure. And it does go to the yeah, big surprise there. It all goes to the Middle East in the long run. I mean, the Middle East is like the center of it. Yeah, makes sense. I don't know where exactly, but yeah, it's all hidden. So not to say they're all bad or anything like that, but the manipulators hide behind war-struck places. If it's the demilitarized zone, obviously they're there somewhere running the show. So it keeps you out, keeps the majority out. It's not a place where you can go into for hanging out. Obviously, Switzerland's a major hub, but that's where the elite live, not necessarily where they run everything. So anyway, all right. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Take care. Much love.